Hey families, I just wanted to make another video over something that we've done in class. So one of the things that we've done when we've talked about place value is the counting up and exchanging units a little bit. So what this means is that whenever we're counting up from one another to another, we want to try to keep our numbers or work to get towards what we call benchmark numbers. Now our benchmark numbers are either multiples of 10 or multiples of 100. Or for instance, 210 is a benchmark of 10, whereas 300 is a benchmark of our hundreds. So when we count up, one of the ways that we've done it in class is it'll say draw, label, and box 100. So when we draw it, when we draw 100, we draw our hundreds with boxes. So we'll draw 100, we're going to label it, and then we're going to put a box around it because this is our starting number. This is where it all begins. And then it says draw a picture of units you used to count from 100 to 124. So we're going to draw an arrow. This is important because this leads into the arrow method that we will learn later on. And so when I'm trying to get to 124, I want to try to keep it at those benchmarks of 10 or those benchmarks of 100. So I'm already at my 100, so now I'm going to go through benchmarks of 10. So I'm going to add my 10s first. So I have 100, now I have 110. So I have 100, and then I have 10. But I'm not at my number yet, so I keep going. Now, the best way to count would be to continue doing our 10s, because we can keep it at those easy numbers to count. So instead of 110, now it's 120. And we got our stick of 10 to show that we got 102 10s. Now that I don't need my 10s anymore, now I can start doing my 1s. So that way it's a little bit easier to count because I have 120, now I have 121. And then I keep going. Now I have 122. And if this happens, we just drop down. And now I add another one. Now I'm at 123. And if we keep going, now I'm at 124. Now, when I reach here, I circle the number. So that way I know that that's my ending number. Now, we started with 100. Now, what did I add to get to our ending number of 124? So this is where we count everything that's not in our box. So I have 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 100 plus 24 gave us our 124. Now let's look at a different example that is a little bit more difficult. So now we have this one. This one says draw, label, and box 124. So I got my 100, 2 10s, and 4 1s. And I label it. And now I'm going to put it inside of a box because that's my starting number. Now it says draw pictures of units you used to count from 124 to 220. Now when we have a number like this that has some 1s, we want to get to our benchmark numbers, which are the 10s or the 100s. In this case, we do not want to add hundreds yet because it'll be a little bit more difficult. So this time we start adding 1s so that way we can get to a benchmark of 10. So if I add one more, now I'm at 125. I'm still not at a benchmark of 10, so I keep going. Now I have 126. I keep going. 127. I keep going. 128. I keep going. 129. And now I add one more. Now I'm at 130. So now that I'm at 130, now it would be best, now that I reach my benchmark number of a 10, now I can add 10s to get to my next 100 because I got to get to 200. So let's keep going. So now I have 130, 140 because I'm adding 10s now. So I count by 10. I keep going. Now I'm at 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, and now that this next 10 is going to give me my new 100, so a new 100 would make 200s. Now that I've reached my 200, I look to see what I need. Well, I need 20, 220. So I'm at 200. Now I need 20. So I continue to add 10s. I don't need to add 100 in this one. I just need to add 10s. So I have 210, and then I end with 220. And I'm going to circle my answer up here. All right. So now we do our addition sentence. So I had 124 plus something equals 220. Now, technically, we could change this to subtraction and solve it. However, we've not gotten to that point yet. We would solve this using vertical form if we were doing subtraction. So instead, we're going to count how much we added up. So in this case, it'd be best to start with our 10s and not our 1s. So let's start by counting our 10s. Let's count our 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, I got 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. And this is why we never added 100. It's because our answer was never going to be all the way up to 100. So this is how you solve those problems where it wants them to draw and then count up to a number. I hope this was helpful.